Yep, I can say quite confidently that Spider-Man Far From Home is the third best Spider-Man movie I have seen in the last 12 months. For me, it goes Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home. Still pretty good though. Hey up guys, so today I'm going to be talking about Spider-Man Far From Home, which is the 23rd film in the MCU. It's the second solo standalone films following the adventures of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, and it's also the first film in the new phase of the MCU now that the Infinity Saga has come to a close. And like its predecessor before it, Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home is directed once again by Jon Watts. The opening 10 minutes of this film acts as a refresher course as to what happened at the end of Avengers Endgame, as well as an obituary of the characters we lost, and it also acts as an exposition dump for what's going to happen in Spider-Man Far From Home. If you guys haven't seen Avengers Endgame, then I'm going to have to issue a spoiler warning here, because in order to review Spider-Man Far From Home, I'm going to need to talk about certain plot points and character deaths that happened in Avengers Endgame. I'm not going to spoil anything from Spider-Man Far From Home, but if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, it's kind of necessary for me to talk about what happened in that film to give you a review of this one. Okay, so if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, go away, come back after you've seen the film. So yeah, this film takes place 8 months after the events of the reversal snap that Tony Stark did. They call it the blip. Peter Parker, Ned, and MJ have all blipped back into existence, only it's 5 years later, and some of their classmates have aged by 5 years. It's weird. But they're back at high school, and they're about to embark on a class summer trip around Europe, going to places like Venice, Prague, and London. God, the best place that my school ever took me to was to Malum, and that was for a shitty geography field trip. Yes, these grapes are very sour. Anyway, Peter Parker, once again played brilliantly by Tom Holland, is currently trying to figure out how to balance his life between being Peter Parker, the high school student, as well as being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's still reeling from the aftermath of losing his beloved mentor and father figure, Tony Stark. He's still processing that loss, and yet the whole world is expecting Spider-Man to step up and be the new Tony Stark. They're expecting him to be the new Iron Man. Massive shoes to fill and a lot of pressure. But all Peter Parker, the high school student, wants to do right now is to go on this class trip, woo MJ, and give her a kiss. He sees this trip as a vacation from Spider-Man, but wouldn't you know it, these pesky creatures called the Elementals, which take on the form of Earth's natural elements like earth, wind, and fire, keep cropping up at all these popular tourist destinations that are on the class itinerary. So Peter teams up with Nick Fury, once again played by Samuel Jackson, as well as an interdimensional sorcerer called Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, in order to stop these creatures and help save the world. I had a really good time with this film. It had everything that I needed for an enjoyable Spider-Man sequel. Plenty of emotion and character development for Peter Parker. A fantastic performance from Tom Holland, by the way. There was plenty of awkward teenage humor, which I found very amusing. There was lots of exhilarating, neck-craning action. Plenty of delicious Easter eggs and cameos. And there's also a few twists in there, which I definitely didn't see coming. Nothing quite like the Vulture twist of Spider-Man Homecoming, but there was a twist in this, and I don't want to spoil it for you. But it was in a similar vein to the Mandarin reveal from Iron Man 3. That's all I'm going to say about it, but yeah, when it happened, you'll know when it happens. And I was like, oh, did not see them taking that direction with this particular character, but it did work, and I enjoyed it, and I thought it was very well executed. Coming back to Tom Holland's performance, I would say this is probably his best performance in all the MCU movies so far. He brings so much emotionality to the story because he's grieving the loss of Tony Stark, he's awkward with MJ, he's feeling the pressure of having to step up and be the hero, all the while he wants to just be a regular kid and go to high school and try and get the girl. And there's something very relatable about that, which I love, and I think Tom Holland's done a wonderful job here. He's got excellent chemistry with Zendaya. She's also brilliant here. Equal parts funny and a little bit terrifying. And Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio was brilliant casting. He had fantastic chemistry with Tom Holland as well, and it's one of those performances that really flourishes the more the film develops, and he was fantastic here. The action scenes in this are very exciting, very creative. I loved how they utilized Spidey's powers in places like Venice and London. There's a scene that takes place on the Tower Bridge in London, and Spidey is going over, under, through the Tower Bridge, doing all this aerial acrobatic stuff, and it's exhilarating. I was having so much fun watching that. And also, the visuals in this film are some of the best I've ever seen in the MCU. There's some head-trippy sequences where Spider-Man doesn't know if what he's seeing around him is real or fake, and it's incredibly well done. It kind of reminded me of Doctor Strange in that head-trippy sense. I will say that this is a film that is saturated with quite a lot of CGI, but I will say that the CGI, for the most, is quite impressive. In the end, guys, Spider-Man Far From Home had a lot to live up to following in the footsteps of Avengers Endgame, but what this film successfully does is show that after the somber events of Endgame, that there is still a lot of life left in the MCU. And this film brings that. It's got the heart, and it's got the laughs, and it's got a lot of fun action sequences as well. I think this is a really good summer film that a lot of people are going to enjoy. Time to ask the big three questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yes, I would definitely watch this again. It's very rewatchable. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Spider-Man movie, because God knows there's so many great ones, but it's still a very good film, and I would definitely rewatch it again. Question number 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Yes, this is one globe-trotting trip that everybody should take this summer. Go watch it, guys. It's a good ride. And question number 3, what am I going to give it out of 10? I'm going to give Spider-Man Far From Home a score of 8 out of 10. There we go, guys. That is my review of Spider-Man Far From Home. But remember, this is just one bloke's opinion. I want to hear from you guys. Have you seen this film? If you have, what did you think of it? Is it better than Homecoming? Did you prefer Homecoming? Whatever you think, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys like this video and my channel, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you can find all that information in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hitfield, and I'll see you next time.